Okay, first thing, I think I want to expand a little bit. Do it to make it easier. Hey, Frost. Yep. Gonna finish off whatever line art details I wanted and then move on to coloring and shading. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just not in the mood for something. That's fine. You don't have to force yourself. It might be just one of those days where you should just, take a break. And it's not even like burnout, it's just, you're just not feeling it. That happens with me sometimes, though often I try to force it. I'm like, no, we gotta do something. And then I'll probably like watch something to help motivate me or spark something, and then I'm pretty much good after that. But sometimes I can just do it on my own, be like, all right, nope, we gotta do something. We'll get motivated as we're working on it. Oh, nah, why the hell would I put pants on? Like, you gotta remember that these characters are also in the same universe as the IHAT characters, and there are naked characters. Um, None have shown up in IHAT yet, but then, well, actually, that's not true. Technically, Tree Star's parents have been seen now, and they're nudists. But but in Black Circus, we've seen Mia show up, and then Mia's originally from World Gates, and she's naturally naked, although she wears like belts and weapon stuff. But then we have like Kitsune, who doesn't wear anything other than body piercings. So yeah, naked characters are a thing. It just depends on where I put them. Yeah, you should just make today a chill day, or take however much time you need if you're not feeling it. Better to not force it when you don't need to, than to try to force it and then you end up like not satisfied with what you make. So let's do some small tweaks. This one doesn't need to be seen. Just would be a headache if I do it. I make this a little bit thicker. Just a little. I should do that skit with Jolly of Tails from Sonic Boom sitting in the snow, saying that for the first time in his life he almost considered wearing pants. He's like, for the first time in my life, I almost considered wearing pants. These are desperate times. Because he's in like a fucking blizzard, but he's only wearing like a jacket to protect himself from the elements, but he's not wearing pants. I know, it's a weird feeling. I would say just let nature decide, and you'll figure out if you're in the mood. Just let time decide. Hello, hello. Besides, what's the point of him putting on pants when he's fucking all of his girlfriends so many times? It's just gonna make an extra obstacle. They're gonna look at him like he's crazy. He's like, what the hell are you wearing pants for? You're gonna need those. He's got 7 girlfriends. You know damn well those pants are coming off. Make it a little bit bigger to accommodate for edges, but the height is gonna remain the same because I'll use it for a card or something in the future. All right. Save. Yeah, might have to redesign his other form at some point, so that way it makes more sense given his position now. But I'll get to that point when I need to. A lot of reworks in the future. Like I need to change Def's name since actual Def exists. So she can't have that name. Like I can call her that, but it wouldn't really make much sense to do so. So it's just better off to give her an actual name. Would his tail be visible from this position? Probably. I should probably put in his tail, even if you can barely see it. His pelvis is right here, so his tail is probably like right there. Like I said, it's barely even visible, but it's one of those things where it's like feels weird if I don't do it type of moments. That's one of the... Is he like a werewolf? No, it's just what's the best way of explaining this? So Jolly ends up, because like this all boils down to if I like expand on the whole like showing characters in their previous lives sort of thing. But at least this was the case before. This might get changed when I rework World Gates and all that. But originally, Jolly existed in like prior story, a prior storyline, and then originally he was supposed to die in that story. But then the whole idea is that there is a cosmic entity that cherry picks certain people to end up working for her, or for it, or motivates them to make certain actions and stuff like that. So Jolly ends up becoming an entity called an Eternal, which is basically like resurrected dead people, and they gain like immortal bodies, and a lot of the time they have like monstrous forms, or like at least some kind of alternate form if they don't have one already. And Jolly ends up getting one. Originally it was just called the Ace of Spades, or whatever name I gave it. And that might change based on whatever necessary changes I need to do. But yeah, it's just a form that he takes in order to, like if he comes across any danger or something like that that's preventing him from whatever the main goal is, then he has an alternate form as just a sense of a power-up type of thing. And then depending on where I go with the story, like if he lives or whatever, then he'll lose that ability, or it gets converted over to his card game thing. So it no longer becomes a necessary form for him to take. So it's one of those scenarios. But again, there's like a lot that will be changed once I get back to working on World Gates, because even though I'm technically not working on World Gates as like the main focus, I am working on basically the spin-offs this entire time. So like iHat is considered a spin-off of World Gates. Same thing for Black Circus and Creamfield, into a much lesser extent Buckle. So it would just be one of those things that when I get there, I'll get there and make the changes that I need to change. Does he eat his enemies? He could, but initially he likes to challenge them to a card game, and then beats them based off of that, which he can make the cards become like actual physical things that interact with people. But if push comes to shove and he does transform into his other form, then he's just gonna straight out fight you and likely try to, eat you or crush you, or probably blast you with whatever energy attacks he may have. So it's an option. Okay, so what's the easiest way of doing this without wanting to blow my brains out because of coloring. It's like, oh, coloring, my nemesis. Kiwi versus Jollywent, exactly. That is something I do want to do at some point. I don't know when, but it is a thing I want to do. It's one of those scenarios where it's like, okay, depending on how certain things go, whenever I tackle certain story points with like Creamfield and all that, that will decide whether or not it happens in a particular way, like, because the idea might change based off of what decisions I've made up until that point. Because that's happened with several of my comics, where it's like, okay, I had the idea for this, but then it slowly shifted because not so much that the initial idea changed, but more like elements of the comics caused it to change more, caused it to shift and alter itself. So, like, for example, originally was supposed to be one chapter for each day that happens in the comic, because it was supposed to take place in the span of a week. And so the idea was that you're supposed to see Marcy hang out with Skylar for a full week, and so we would get initially 7 chapters. And we would slowly see Marcy, change over time up until the last day. And then at the time when IHAT was only just going to be its own standalone thing, and once it was over, it was over. Originally, Marcy was just going to end up being like a mindless eating machine. And there's going to be like 2 endings. Either she just, becomes Skylar's, fat slave forever, or there was going to be a scenario where Skylar ends up getting killed and Marcy, still being mindless, just eats him without even realizing it, type of thing. And that was the initial idea. But then I made Blake, and all that just kind of shifted over to different ideas because Blake was interesting. And so that's how we changed course from that timeline to a different one. And we still got the 7 chapters, but now those 7 chapters got split between the neutral path. Well, actually, we got more than 7. But we got the neutral path, the true ending path, and then the bad ending path. And the bad ending is just an alternate timeline, basically, because it doesn't even go on the same chain of events other than Marcy being invited to the party. So yeah, that went from 6 chapters to, 10? Just because of that small change. Quit bitching and get to color. I know, right? Sorry. Okay, we did all that. We're good. Do I need to tweak, or do I need to clean up some of the line art? Maybe. Let me just erase some of these areas just in case there's something here I don't want. But yeah, like a lot of the time, small little things that I do end up changing the idea. Like Andy and Emerald, they were originally just supposed to be background characters, and that was it. And then they ended up getting their own volume. That's why I have a problem when I draw background characters. It's like, okay, I gotta make them not interesting or else I'm gonna want to do something. Really don't like the way I drew that. I want to fix that. Turn that off so I can fix it. Used to be more defined. Sides more showing metal. Now this side has the lens. Yeah, I know, I've gone off script so many fucking times. I remember the days where it was only roll gates and buckle, and that was it. Which really wasn't that long ago. That was, what, 13 years ago now? Back when it was just roll gates and buckle, and then I would hang out and play Skullgirls, so that was it. And then work on buckle as I was playing Skullgirls and hanging out with the creators of the game. Yeah, Gretchen got a huge change. Because I moved her out of the Black Circus crew and gave her like her own thing with CC. And then Cece was a character who had her own, like, short joke comic thing that I did in high school. So, that was like a thing. And then there's dozens of other characters that I've gotten. Either reworks or whatever. Actually, I think that's something I can do first. So we'll just do this. Probably won't make this eye blue this time. Because I want it to stand out more. But yeah, there are often moments where something happens when I'm making the comic and things change. Like now I have a more concrete idea for the ending for Caitlin's story than all the other times I tried to talk about it. It's like, oh, this is how I'm thinking of an ending, and it just never sounded right. And then finally I figured it out. I was like, oh, it should go like this. And it just kind of came to me on like, hey, stupid, make it like this. That way this scenario works out. And I'm like, oh, yeah, duh. Why didn't I think of that? And he's like, you did. It just took you longer. I know, right? It's like, alright, smartass, you do it. And then she'll just hate life. Like, I go to check on Becky to see if she's drawn anything. She's just passed out drunk. She's like, nah, fuck this. Just gets wasted. Hard to say if this actually fixed anything. It'll probably look better once I shade it. Just trying to make certain lines thinner. It's like it looks better, but it probably just looks flat to me because I haven't shaded it yet. Or like not in the way that I'm thinking. And then it's mostly just like, why does it look fine here? Hold on, let me turn this on. It kind of has the same problem that I'm already seeing, so it's probably just a angle thing. So it'll probably look nicer once I make its shading better. But let's clean this up a little bit and then we'll move on. Alright. Alright, no more of this. Move on. But yeah, Kaylin's story is nearing the end. I'm trying to make it not exceed 56 pages. But I'm trying to like get through the necessary setups that I need. Should I get the metal? Oops, wrong thing. There we go. There we go. The metal. It's usually red coming down, right? Yeah. Oh, forgot to highlight that part. Or erase that part. I'll do that afterwards. I can see Becky just working on something for like hours, and then finally when she's done, all she did was like a hand. She even draw the whole thing. Basically the same thing that SpongeBob did when he was trying to write an essay and all he had was like a really detailed Oh yeah, that'd be funny. She'd be like, "All right, here you go," and he's like, "Oh, you finally drew something?" And I look at it, and it's just a hand flipping me off. That'd be funny. Now I want to scrap the slice of life that I was working on. Which it wasn't really good anyway, so I'll just scrap it or only post it on Patreon. And then make a better one. It's not even finished, it's just the line art mostly. Yeah, that'd be funny. I'm looking at it. It's the drawing of her giving me a finger, and then I look up and it's her giving me the finger. Yeah, that'd be funny. See, good humor like that is why we draw. Will I draw something like that? Probably not unless the time comes. But definitely something to have in the back of my mind now. It's like, oh great, just gonna store that in there for God knows how long. Save that for a humorous moment. So we'll hold on to that one. It's like the other slice of life ideas of like characters going shopping for clothing. And like in Becky's case, she has to buy 2 bras of varying sizes. And she's just getting really annoyed because the shop attendant or whatever is like, what the hell? Or like Becky has to get her measurements taken, and it's just like she does not want to do this. or even worse, she has to go to like a doctor for a physical, and that's how she knows everything. And she just curses my name. Exactly. Like, alright, idea number whatever goes on top, just flies up there or climbs with climbing gear. Sees the graves of others who have tried. I can see a skit of her doing the Bender thing where he's drinking alcohol at an amusement park, and the mascot is like, "Oh, we're gonna have to take away your alcohol, sir." And he's like, "Better mascots than you have tried." Just drinks it and then puts the bottle in his eye. I could totally see Becky doing that too. Right, and it's that one goblin guy or whatever in the recent Smiling Friends episode with or not the recent one with Mr. Frog, but the one with the building inspector, and they go into the basement or the back of the building, and they see that one live action guy who's just going rah rah. So yeah, as Becky climbs up there, she just sees like a random guy just going ah. That would be funny. See, again, discussions like this is what keeps me going. And that's like most of the time, like I'm just, whenever I'm either working on something or doing whatever else, I'm just thinking about random shit that I could possibly draw or use later down the line. And that's what just keeps me going, because I never run out of an idea to do, or something gives me an idea, and it's just like, okay, alright, put it on the pile. Guess I'm going to be drawing until I absolutely positively run out of ideas, which will be never, which means I'll live forever. That's how that works, right? Oh yeah, I need that sweater. Here we go. Texture. Crush that. That's what we're looking for, right? Yes. That was just me before morning coffee. Ha, joke's on you, I don't drink coffee. At least not to wake myself up, I just drink it for fun. And that's just frappuccinos, and that's random. I don't drink it every day. It's been... Has it been months now since I've had any coffee? Probably. I am much more talkative after I've drank coffee. Coffee works weird with me. First it makes me sleepy, so I take a nap. Then I wake up, and then I won't shut the hell up. So if you thought I was bad at, you know, going on the tangents before, wait until I've had coffee. Then I'm like, whee! And it's just random with me, like sometimes I'll be in like a coffee mood, and I'll go get coffee. But a good majority of the time I'm like, nah, I'm good. This should probably go in here. This thing's up. There we go. That way both of them have a texture. I'm gonna go with green this time. Kind of bring it out more. Yeah, exactly. Like I've always told my friends, if I was somehow stuck on an island, and like I was perfectly fine like with, you know, food resources, that type of thing, but I had like nobody to talk to, I would just make up my own shit. I would either build shit out of fucking sand, find animals to name and give them personalities, or just fucking draw in the sand. Or just enact my own shit, and then when people find me, it's like, oh no, he's gone crazy from being isolated. Becky be like, nah, that's just him normal. He's like, nah, he's fine. It's like, he's always like this. Like, literally nothing would change. And as I'm being saved and like leaving the island, I'll purposely just say, well, son. If I remember, of course. That shit would be funny. I would totally do that. I haven't even seen that movie, I just know that part exists. I need to watch it. My friend keeps telling, because my friend has it and I just have yet to watch it. She's told me, like, hey, I have it, we can watch it anytime. Like, yeah, that'll be a good idea. Still haven't done it. It's been like, I don't know, 10 years. Or however long it was since the last time she told me about that movie. That's just Tuesday. It is Tuesday, you son of a bitch. For me, it was Tuesday. Yes, exactly. That's why when everybody had that, when the pandemic happened and everybody was freaking out, it's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Trapped in my house all pandemic. I'm just like, pathetic. As I go back to being insane in my room. I probably shout Becky. I'm like, Becky, and it cuts back to the island, And it's just like some random ass duck or whatever bird that I just started calling Becky. Oh, that shit would be funny. I'd find a seagull and a crab, ship them together, and then eventually the seagull eats the crab, and like, oh my god, their breakup was horrible. Or I'd see it happen, and I'm like, final episode. Then any other idea after that would be a total letdown compared to that happening. Yeah, exactly. Island Becky is just a seagull. That should be funny. See, again, this is what keeps me going. This is how I know I'll survive on a desert island. Other than, you know, the initial find food and decent water to not go insane on. Hope to God that there's fucking coconuts on that island. Like, oh, thank God. It's like, oh, and it's like, what did you drink there? Like, oh, the trees had titty milk, so I was just drinking that all the time. They're like, what? So yeah, the trees had titty milk. So what the fuck are you talking about? Like this? Like, those are coconuts. Yeah. It's like, did they not come from a tree? And someone, I know Nana would probably argue me, he's like, that doesn't mean the tree has tits. Like, I'm sorry. they're orbs that have milk in it, and they have meat inside. So fuck you. Oh god, I would be having a long conversation with her. I mean, I think I already did at some point about this. Like, she already knows about the desert island thing, but I don't think I discussed the argument of a coconut. I did go on a long fucking tangent about McDonald's when we found out that certain fucking countries had a secret menu. And I'd be like, oh great, we don't get the good shit, we get this bullshit, and then they get all the fun stuff. Like, this is bullshit. Alright, think we're good on this. Move on. Does he need the squiggles underneath his cheek? Underneath his... I'm gonna go with no, just because he never had them initially. I love how this song has nothing to do with fucking Street Fighter. He's all talking about street soldiers and shit, and I'm like, dude, it's literally just a bunch of people that gather together to beat the shit out of each other in a tournament. That's it. Yes, there's like some criminal organization shit going down, but like half of the characters don't even go there for that. Some of them just kind of fall into it. It's like, oh, what? I gotta save the world? Okay, cool. I think Street Fighter V was like the one time where it looked like they were organized to go and try to save the world. Like they actually tried to have a purpose for that. And then you realize that over half the characters don't even give a shit. Or didn't even know that shit was happening. Like, fucking Abigail just thinks he's a car. and his whole semi-story, whatever the hell you want to call those arcade mode things. This whole thing was just him looking for his car, and he goes and fights a bunch of people, thinking that they either stole his car or have information about his car. And then he fights fucking Alex, and he makes like a bunch of car noises, and Alex can, for some fucking reason, identify the type of car that Abigail is mimicking. And then finally, at the end of the story, or his story, you find out that Abigail's friends borrowed his car, and they even told him that they were borrowing his car, and they left him a note and everything. And he was so fucking embarrassed that he just fucking like suplexes them or whatever the hell he was doing. I'm like, see, this guy didn't give a shit. And granted, he was a DLC character, so he wasn't in like the full story mode where like, oh, we're gonna take over the world with this Dark Moon thing or whatever the fuck was going on. But even then, it was just kind of like whatever. That's basically what I had, is like, oh yeah, here's world-ending events. Probably not going to involve any of those characters at all. Maybe take shelter somewhere, but that's like the extent of their efforts. Because it's like, the fuck is Marcy going to do to try to save the world? It's like, wait, if I get fat enough, I can protect us from the meteor or some shit. I'd be like, yeah, that ain't happening. If the world was ending, Becky would just sit on her ass drinking as she watches the fucking wave of fire head towards her. And I would say, like, right before it gets up to her, to obliterate her, she just puts up the finger. Yeah, yep, fuck this shit. Just gets her ass fucking wasted as hell. She'd be like, alright, time to bust out the good shit. And her sister would be like, what do you mean the good shit? And then it's just like alcohol that you don't even fucking know existed. Just get everybody wasted when they go out. Yeah, exactly. Just do whatever you wanna do to make the end fucking amazing. I have no idea what I would do if I knew the world was ending. I'd probably get bored after like the first few ideas and be like, nah, I'm just gonna go home and draw. Fuck this. I have no idea what my last drawing would be. Becky would probably be like, it better be of me, bitch. Go out with her just having the middle finger. But, yeah, honestly, I'd have no idea what the last thing I would draw would be if the world was about to end. Probably something meaningful to me, I guess. But yeah, like, I would have ideas like, okay, the world's about to end, just gonna do a bunch of shit. And I'd probably get bored halfway through and be like, nah, I'm gonna go home and draw. Fuck this. Watch my favorite show, whatever the hell that is, whether it be Kamen Rider, Sonic the Hedgehog, or a combination of all of them. And then, I don't know, chill out with some cheesecake. And some Oreo ice cream or something. I have no fucking idea. If I have time for any of that shit, that's what I'm gonna do. probably end up having to fight somebody who's trying to break into my house and loot, which makes no fucking sense since it's the end of the world. So they'll probably be there to kill me. So I'm like, all right, guess we'll find out who survives this until the end. And then if I'm super lucky, after the world ends, I get isekai to something. I'd be like, all right, here's your personal heaven. And it's just my drawings as like an actual world. Like I'd be like, oh fuck, don't throw me there. I'd be like, what? Why? Wouldn't this be amazing? I get sent to my own world and I have to go deal with Becky. You know, like, oh great, gotta deal with your fat ass. And then she'll just glare at me, going like, hey, I'm not just a figment of your imagination anymore, asshole. And I'd be like, oh shit, start running. She'll be like, I'll give you 10 seconds. I'm like, shit. And yep, that is how the afterlife is. Just do us a favor and make everything free to the public so we can see good shit one last time before we go. Right? I mean, you might as well. If you found out that the world was going to end in, like, a year, obviously we're going to have a bunch of people trying to commit murder, but I would also like to see a bunch of, like, scenarios where it's just like, you know, let's just have fun. Just, like, a year-long fucking party. See some good movies that were already made. I get isekai'd as Becky. Oh dear God, the things I would do. I would do horrible shit. Like, okay, if I was just in Becky's body, but she was already, like, you know, her own personality, that would be interesting, I guess, as just like a passenger and just see what happens type of thing. But if I was just like literally her, and I still had my own personality or fragments of it, that would be interesting as well. But I would just be a total asshole if I was Becky. I would literally roleplay as Becky. He's like, nah. If I'm gonna be Becky, I'm being Becky. I'm going to do exactly what Becky would do in whatever scenario. Be a bitch. I would purposely go find a Hot Topic and work there, just so I can blast the music and hate everybody. And that's just assuming, like, I come back as Becky, but that's it. Like, the world isn't like fantasy or anything. I'm the only thing interesting that happens. But if I'm like actually sent to my own designed world, then there's more to work with, in my perspective. Because I have already planned this. I have gone into lengthy discussions with Nano about this exact possibility of what would happen if X, Y, and Z happened, or whatever. Like if I gained superpowers, I would experiment to see the limits of what I could do, and then once I figured all that out, I would send her a text message saying, "Yeah, yo, I got it," and she would know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Because me and her have talked about this at length. I would be incredibly invested if shit like that happened to me. I'd be like, oh shit, they have superpowers, what do I do? And then I bust out the list of everything I'd said I'd do. First things first, you figure out what you can and cannot do. And you figure out the limits to that. Then you make it so that you can never lose your powers. But you have to be super goddamn specific. And I'd already gone through at length of what to do in that scenario. So you gotta plan for this shit. A lot of the times people who gain superpowers don't plan for that shit. It's like, nah, man. You need a hyperactive imagination like me. And I've been thinking of this shit for years. Decades. So I know exactly what to do. The hard part is testing whether or not you'd be okay when you're unconscious. That's like the only actual challenge. If you said something other than what you just said, I didn't see it. Unless it showed up on stream. Oh, it did show up on stream. Or did it? No, it didn't. Never mind. I thought it did. Oh no, it did. Becky arguing with someone about coconuts, asked him to show the fit on a coconut. That'd be funny. That would be funny to have coconut show up. Do all that. Yeah, like it showed up on the actual stream, but it didn't show up in chat or on the chat of Streamlabs. That's weird, but it's funny that it carried over to the chat screen that's on the stream itself. That's interesting that I can see that. Oh, slapping me for doing something done? Yeah, I didn't see that one. I might have missed that one. It probably did show up on the stream itself, but I didn't see it. Because most of the time I'm looking at the actual chat. But yeah, if I miss something, just let me know. But yeah, if I gain superpowers, you'll hear it from me right now that cat girls will be a thing at least. I will make that a thing, and then we'll move on from there. Because if we can have cat girls, then we can have anything. This I promise. We will have cat girls if I gain powers that allow me to do so. Cat girls alone will fix Japan's population problem. Cat girls and cat boys will do both. If you're isekai in your own world as your son, you'd be in trouble. See, the problem with me is that all of my characters are viable. So it would have to be me as a god, or else everything else would just be limited, depending on who I get isekai as. But preferably it'd be my god form, so that way I can actually fucking craft the world to what I want and make it interesting. Yo, Jolly, how'd I draw your dick before? Okay, not that much different from what I'm doing right now. It's crazy how Becky has become my mascot despite being like character number, I don't know, 400 something at this point, or by the time I made her. She was like character, well, probably even more than that, but she was at least character 400 something. Life plays a joke. If I ended up as Douglas, that wouldn't be a bad thing either. I mean, think about it. He's a nerd that gets to deal with a lot of risque stuff, and then he ends up dating fucking Apricot, who's surrounded by other women of multiple kinks. I think I would be fine as Douglas. I'd be like, nah, this is great. I would consider that a win. And he has stupid amounts of money, so that's a win. Yeah, and it's funny because Becky was just originally a character for me to vent out my frustrations with certain topics whenever I felt the need, which really didn't play out that way. In the end, it didn't play out that way. She just ended up becoming the mascot, and then occasionally drawn doing risque stuff or whatever kink slash fetish that I wanted to do. And then she has her own lore and stuff like that now. So didn't play out the way I intended, but hey, I don't mind. Ended up just getting another fun character to draw. I think I used her for that purpose like a small handful of times, and that was about it. You just slapped me together from the spare parts bin. No, that would be... God, what was that character? Was it 160 that I named it because it was my 150th character at the time? That one's made out of scraps from the bin. Great, now I gotta check. Watch it be like 170. Where are you? You're probably in the old folder. Dun, 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 dun. No. Probably in this folder. Where are you? Like, where are you? No. Ah, there you are. Yeah, it was 160. Okay. When God was drunk while building a person. That was God when he was making the fucking platypus. It's like, alright, he's like, hey guys, I'm gonna take this beaver. I'm gonna combine it with a duck. I'm gonna make it a mammal. It's gonna lay eggs. And, to top it all off, it has talons and it's fucking poisonous. It's like, what the hell did we do? Thank God it's not like a fucking murder machine. Cause seriously, if that thing was like a fucking apex predator, it's like, what the hell? That would be terrifying if that thing was like, I don't know, the size of a lion or something. And it was like fast or something. Because like if it was fast on land, it would be even worse because it's fast in the water. Because of the beaver part and the duck part. So it's just like, what the fuck? It's like if God was drunk building that, it's like, man, he was drunk just enough to make it a non-threat. To humans at least. I don't know what it deals with on a daily basis, but still though, it was just like, man, we're gonna take a bunch of shit, throw it together, and then see what happens. You're like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they are very cute. I need to draw a platypus character. Just have a platypus character hang out with Becky. Could be like her coworker at Cold Gossip. That she changes shifts with or something, or even just works together with her every once in a while. when her boss is out or something. It's like the one person that Becky doesn't have a problem with, just because they're both very similar. I do not remember playing this song. But we're gonna listen to it anyway if I did. If I already played this, fuck it. But yeah, I should definitely draw a platypus character. And give her fucking talents with poison. It's like, why the fuck do you have those? And she's like, I don't know. It's like God just felt bad after he made the platypus. Like, alright, I'm gonna give you talents and poison just so you can defend yourself. Is it one mixed man? No. Have you seen the other fucking characters I've made? A lot of them are like, what the fuck? Granted, I haven't even uploaded all of my characters. There's still folders of old designed characters which probably need, likely need updates at this point. But there's so much shit that I have not posted. One of these days, I'm just gonna bust out my folder and just start scanning in all of my art of characters that I've drawn and whatever else. And then I'll probably post them on Patreon first, and then slowly update them over time. Or even if I do post them publicly, I'll make it so that I acknowledge that they're like old versions that will eventually get updates. But it won't be like the adopted ones where I post them and their originals. It's just going to be like the originals first and then update them later down the line. I mean, it's basically what I'm already doing. It's like, alright, here's a new one. Or a new version, and I'll put like the year usually. I mean, I do have a cabinet with old artwork, mostly old comics that I've drawn. Most of the character arts are in fucking folders though, which I have like 1, 2, 2 or 3 folders, maybe 4, if I'm being generous. And then, of course, there's the hard drives with artwork I've been saving since I was like fucking 13, as well as my own artwork, both scanned and made digitally on, so I have more than enough content to last me forever, whether it be to entertain myself or others. Like, if for some fucking reason I was the only person on Earth, and like electricity and gas and water was not an issue, and all I had to do was just venture out to go to like stores or whatever to grab whatever I needed to grab, which most would probably die out in expiration dates depending on what they are, aside from frozen stuff. But if everything was taken care of and I was the last person on Earth, I'd be fine. I'll be watching the entirety of however much Kamen Rider I fucking bought or downloaded. Got more than enough anime, got more than enough fucking random ass comics that I've saved throughout the years. I will literally just go down the list and read everything that I've ever saved. I will be fine. But of course, that only works if I don't have to worry about fucking electricity, water, and food. Because if that was the case, like, oh great, I gotta figure out how to make electricity come on so I can look at my shit. And if I couldn't, then oh well, at least I'll scour the world for paper and then draw forever, make the ultimate comic that nobody will ever see. Because it'll be made for me. Alright, have a good night. You take care. If I ever felt like doing more commissions, yeah, sure, why not? Not sure if I'll open up again. I'm debating it, I've been thinking about it, but at the moment I don't need to. So if I do open up for commissions, it'll be on a whim. Maybe it'll be something I try next year. See how it goes and see how I feel about it. The only reason why I don't do commissions right now is because commissions burn me out really quickly compared to anything else. And I'd rather just go at my own pace and just work on the stuff that I want to work on. But if I feel the need, I will try. See how that fares. So depending on how that goes the next time I open, we'll decide how much more often I do it. It'll be either that or maybe I'll make it a tier on Patreon, because it was a tier at one point, like years ago. So maybe I'll do that again. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see how I feel about it. If I do make it like a Patreon only thing, maybe I'll make it like a very luxury based tier where it's like, alright, here's the tier, it is at this price, you clearly do not need it, but it's here for those who want me to do a commission. And then basically see where life takes me at that point. It's not even drawing fat stuff. It just felt like it was becoming a chore. As basically, saying it was like becoming a job doesn't make sense because it's literally what I do. But it just kind of made it feel differently than me just doing the stuff that I want to do. And sure, like getting burned out on drawing nothing but fat was also a factor, but it wasn't just that. It was just making me not want to draw. Is the best way to put it. And I did not like that feeling, so I stopped doing commissions. Like, I don't want to dislike the thing I like. Seriously though, I need to figure out how to tell YouTube to stop hiding my chats. There's probably like a setting or something for it, so I'll have to find it later. Almost done with this part of the shading. good. And with that, I'm pretty much gonna call it. I'm almost done with this. It's only like a few effects, just highlights and stuff like that. Background will likely be the same one that I'm using from the other Jolly because of visibility and whatever relevance because of the whole chess and tarot card stuff. But yeah, thank you for coming, and I will see you again tomorrow.